Well, there we have the stadium announcer giving us the running order. On the left-hand side, it's Jan Patterson of the United States of America up against Brian Causton of Great Britain. Another opportunity for Britain to claim a gold medal here in the men's foil individual tournaments here at the World Veterans Fencing Championships. The piste referee will be Khalid Amir of Egypt, and on video it's Ala Fallah of Iraq, supported by our assistant referees, and I'm supported by a referee here in the commentary box. Rylan Dilap joins me again for this gold medal match. And Rylan, this is an interesting one because Brian Causton has shown all day that he is going to come after you, he is going to attack you, but Jan Patterson has got both sides of the game. He can defend and he can come out with some stunning attacks.
He's a very dynamic fencer overall, and I actually have not gotten to see much of Causton defense, so I don't know. He's very aggressive.
He's going to come out on the front foot for sure.
I think against Patterson, that actually is not going to be the way to go, because he's very strong defensively, as well as he's a very round fencer overall. But perhaps Causton can find a way around that defense. But I'm interested to find out. I certainly favor Patterson. Aside Sand's bias, needs to double check that because that light did not come off correctly.
The assistant there doing his job, and has checked this for gold in the men's category C individual foil competition here at the 2019 World Championships.
Certainly feeling each other out at first. It's a sensible way to take a gold medal match. Don't just come out running, feel each other out, and then start speeding up as they get more comfortable with how they react. Oh, hello.
Hey! Well, we start this category. See, these athletes are over the age of 70, and they've just taken it to each other right in the middle of the piste. Good on them.
Just glad he didn't stand up too quickly there. That might have been a little more dangerous.
They both. This is the other impressive thing about these championships. I've noticed that there are spies in the camps. They have been watching each other.
Absolutely.
Their teammates would have been saying, right, I'll go and clock that at the semi-final while you try and win your one.
Yeah, we see that reaction is very. I don't know if that means he's not ready, because as soon as that attack comes in, he doesn't seem to have much other plan than that kind of, oh crap,
close the distance. Yeah, I mean, I think that potentially that is his game plan. He's going to just close the distance up when Causton gets in too close, and now you see Causton coming into a much closer distance and trying to find a way through with a shorter action.
Yes, we can get him to fight shallower against Patterson. That might be his game. All right, show that he'll close the distance and then start making it come into his game, where it's just this tight second intention, simple action.
And there you go, the ducking counter-attack this time. So this time he didn't close the distance as much, right?
Not as much, but he's still kind of the same motion, the same timing. But I mean, consistently, Causton's not been able to find target with that same timing and the same motion.
But this time closing that distance up before going for this shorter, shallow, as you put it, attack. So one apiece. A real tactical battle, and both fencers have adapted already. The attack from the right misses this time. Oh, does he know he's not allowed to do that on the piste? I don't think so. He's just been given a bit of guidance there from Eugene Schwab.
Yes, well, there is like actually out from the border of the lines of the piste, there actually is a little extra. So he actually did go off to the side, but not all the way off the entire. It
can still
piste.
cause the same problem, can't it, if you do
it
on the piste or off it? It's purely a. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of the electronics of it, but you can't do it because it could effectively break the piste. It's not going to do much good for your foil either.
No, it doesn't do much good for your foil. It actually stems from the older rule, particularly of those rollout strips, right? Because you tore them up, right? And they were expensive as all heck. So we didn't want them to be scraping and bending their blade on those expensive metal cloth type strips. So it's not as big of a problem now, but it's a little bit more of a traditional old adage kind of thing that we want them to step off the side.
Yeah.
And I believe his reasoning is he didn't want to step down. He got to step back up. That's more work on the legs.
I'm not commenting on that. I'm not commenting on that at all. He's not only your teammate, but I'm guessing you're having a dig at his age.
It's just he's smart. These guys are clever. They take any little edge they can, and they avoid any
potential for any kind of injury
or just wasted energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's brilliant. It should be a compliment to Marcel, right? They know how to manage.
Carry on digging yourself out of that hole, Ryan, and I'm going to let you wax lyrical about how that's a compliment.
World. Yeah. It's an even match so far.
Yeah, and Causton's come back from a couple of hits down. Again, the tactical game is the one that we've got to keep an eye on here.
Oh, wow. Very beautiful counter post.
Sometimes as well, when you see a teammate go on and take a title, it can spur you on, give you an extra boost of energy. It's so important in this category.
Absolutely. It seems right now Causton is definitely taking a more conservative approach. It seems like maybe he was privy or a little faster to the fact that the person who commits harder has been getting punished, but that's correct, Paul, for sure. Missed that extra post.
Yeah, just it's coming from a little bit further out now. Patterson just adjusting the distance a little bit. Offered him the space to make Causton miss on his riposte. Causton's still trying to just close the distance up bit by bit.
That's a good call, I believe. He took the blade, but he stopped, and then he took over, yeah.
Yeah, because when the referee started to do the hand signals then, I thought he was going to give that to Patterson, but quickly came away.
Threw us for a loop.
That, yeah, and Causton does get it, and now they go to the break. Graham Paul is in the box for Brian Causton, his teammate in the Cat C British team and men's foil. Rylan, you know the coach for the USA?
Yes. He's a coach in Seattle, Sal Oriol. I forgot his first name, but he's a clever guy. He has a lot more veteran fencers, and has been out to a lot of the veteran world championships that I've seen. I'm not sure what the strategy he'll be taking here, though. That's a interesting game right now. I haven't seen Causton do that aggressive attack as much. He immediately changed, right? Because you're right, he came out of the bat doing that strong attack, and he's made his change. So it's going to be interesting to see what his coach comes out, make an adjustment. Marsh, I believe, is his name.
I think I would certainly, if I was in the American camp, I would say, depending on how his legs are at the moment, try and be that dynamic fencer that we saw earlier on, moving in and out of distance a lot more and messing around with the distance. Causton then has to do the work to keep up when he wants. Causton's trying to keep this tight distance.
I think you're actually right on point, because it's almost as if Patterson's taken on Causton's type of aggressive attack. So I think a conservative switch would be a very good idea, which right off the bat seems like he's controlling his push a lot more. So I think that's a good adjustment.
It'll be interesting to see what Causton's approach is. Maybe it's stick with what's working right now and then have a B plan when you need to change.
There's that attack come out. Give it a little surprise, right? I think that was despite the push, that was a smart conservative action, because Patterson had stopped and took a look, and you just immediately surprise him with that sudden forward motion with that hand removed, and you're very likely to get that counterattack. As long as you can drop that point, keep relaxed, you'll get some light.
And the key thing as well, one of the key things on top of that is that you're not, as the clock ticks down, you're not letting the gap open up too much, because that 1-2 hit gap starts to feel a lot bigger when the clock is inside a minute.
Yeah. He's got plenty of time for a touch though, so he can.
Yeah, he's being patient as he should be.
I think he needs to finish more because he seems scared to drop his blade, and he hesitated, and that counterattack will just come right there. It's one of the follies of being behind and being too concerned about how you're going to make that touch. It brings about that indecisiveness, and then one light comes up against you.
Yeah, but it's kudos to Causton keeping his tactics, looking there for the parry riposte this time, just changing things up a little bit, and it's keeping Patterson thinking. And it's also stopped him moving. He's not moving as he did at the beginning of this second period.
He doesn't seem, I think he might be a little bit stuffed in terms of strategy right now. He's a little, I think whatever adjustments he had, he didn't have, because now he's looking for a perfect moment, but that was a nice little attack right there. I'd like him to switch to some blade actions. Or attack on the right. It's one of the things in fencing is the biggest trump card of calls nowadays is that even if you parry, or even if the opponent takes a huge preparation, if at the end you turn your body with the intention of counterattack, right now we're calling it counterattack.
Yeah. Yeah. Still the attack from the left, and just like that, Patterson has taken the lead.
Now, if you wanted to say attack stops attack here, that wouldn't be the worst question, but because his body language wasn't just so countery this time, so it would at least be a fair ask as opposed to
that
before.
one for me felt more flowy.
I agree. I definitely think that was a correct call, but his concern wasn't as it was more justified as opposed to the
yeah. I
spin.
understand what you're saying. As soon as you look like it's counterattacking, it's hard not to call it a counterattack.
It's the current convention. It used to be different. It used to be we didn't care about the body language. It used to, like a long time ago, if as long as your hand came out and you hit, this is attack. No matter how your body moved, it didn't matter. But now it's a huge part.
So the counter there this time working well, because he turned his body. This time it was a definite counterattack because he was looking to block out and use a bit of body evasion as well.
Quite pretty actually, nice little pirouette.
Yeah. So all square, and that's an attack from the right.
Nice little reprise flash of a surprise.
The tactical switching is going from side to side here. Causton controlling things at the beginning, Patterson fighting his way back in with a bit of variety, but mainly on the attack. And now Causton changing things up on its defense. So one attack, one counter attack. Raises his weapon there, and
see, I would actually take that because that was off of a blade action that the blade fell out of his hand. I would take this as a signal to go for a taco fair.
Yeah,
take the blade on the way in. Yeah. Press or beat, I think that might be a good idea, especially when the intention was counterattack earlier.
Well, this time Patterson, for me, had the right of way, but Causton did enough to spoil it and steal it off him. One away from the second Brit taking a gold medal here in the men's foil at these championships. But the tactical dice has changed hands so many times. Causton keeps hold of it in the end, and Brian Causton is the world champion. Really fascinating one, Ryland. Really fascinating.
Absolutely. That was a wonderful back and forth, quick switch, and then he made his change back and came out with a victory. Great Britain's certainly got pulling in the medals today.
Certainly are at the men's foil category, and of course